Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a quick review on a new release from Replica, and this is On a Date. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on all things girly, especially videos on smelling really good. If you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe before you leave today's video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here with me today, and I appreciate you so much. With that said, if you would like to know my thoughts on Replicas On a Date, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so today's review is going to be a very interesting review. I'm going to start off by saying that when it comes to Replica fragrances, it can either be a complete hit or it can be a complete miss. I did see this new release pop up and I just thought, wow, that name is just perfection for Valentine's Day coming up, for the month of love, and it just sounded so intriguing. I was just so excited for it. I was expecting like this sexy fragrance, something that you can wear to go out with your boo. That's just kind of like the vibes that I was expecting from On a Date. So before I get into my thoughts and my experience with this fragrance, I'm going to go ahead and read the main accords for you guys as well as the notes. So the main accords are aromatic, woody, rose, fruity, earthy, green, soft spicy, fresh spicy, mossy, and patchouli. So just from looking at those main accords, it just doesn't look like something that I would like to wear on a date. But let's go ahead and let's keep going. So the top notes, we have blackcurrant syrup. You guys know blackcurrant is on my naughty list of notes. It's kind of one that could go either okay or it could be just horrible. Then there is pink pepper and bergamot. The middle notes are rose, davana, and geranium. Just by looking at these notes, I kind of already knew what I was getting myself into, because geranium is also another note that's not my favorite, and davana, I've had horrible luck with that note. Almost every single time that I have a fragrance with that note in it, I don't enjoy it. So then there's also patchouli, moss, vetiver, and musk. So those are the very strong notes, because there's a lot of strong notes in here. There's a lot of earthy notes in here. There's just a lot going on for my personal taste. So I did pick up the travel size. So here is the packaging for the travel size bottle, and we're gonna get right into it. So here is Replica On a Date. And right off the bat, you guys, my review is going to be a little intense because I had some very vivid impressions of this perfume. I wrote it all down. I remember being in the car and my husband is like, what is going on? Because I was just typing away. He knew that it was something to do with a review, because I always write everything down on my phone so that I don't forget. So I'm going to pull up my notes for this fragrance. I did write a note here to give you guys a disclaimer. Before I jump in with this review, remember that fragrances are just very subjective. We all have different experiences with fragrances, and on this channel, I do not like to bash fragrances. It's just not my style. It's not my personality. But if I do have a bad experience with a fragrance, I am going to share what I went through. That does not mean that it won't smell good on other people, because I have experienced firsthand literally smelling a fragrance, absolutely hating it, and smelling it on my mom, and it smells divine, amazing. Like, I wish that it would smell that way on me. So I'm just giving you my experience through my skin, my likes, and just how it works for me. So I already knew that this was probably going to be a fail for me just looking at the notes. But being that I do have a YouTube channel and I love to give reviews, I did go ahead and get it. If I was not on YouTube, if I wasn't doing reviews, this is a fragrance that I would have skipped on like that. Like, I wouldn't even have to think twice about it. I would have just said, that's not for me. So let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to say is I have not watched any reviews at all, but I did bump into Denise Ador's thumbnail on my subscription feed, and I did save the video because I have to watch the review. I cannot wait to see what she says about this fragrance. But I do remember her thumbnail being something like the date is canceled or something like that. And I was like, ooh, like she probably feels the same way that I do about this fragrance. And she likes more of those beast mode fragrances. She doesn't really, we do share a few scents where like we like girly fragrances and we think it's pretty, but she definitely enjoys like stronger scents as well. And I enjoy watching her content, even though some fragrances are not for me. But me seeing that on her thumbnail, I'm not sure if it was just something that she put on the thumbnail or if it's going to be a review where she feels kind of the same as I do. So let's jump right into it. First off, I would love to know who is going on a date with this. That was kind of like the question that I asked myself was, you're going on a date with this? Like I couldn't wrap my head around it. That was the first thing I wrote. So after that, you guys know I do not like to get into age. You guys know that I don't like to recommend fragrances for like, oh, if you're 20, use this. If you're 70, use that. That's just not me. But for this fragrance, it smells very, very like old. It just had this scent to it that I just could not even understand pretty much. So to me, this smells old, this smells dusty, and it smells dry. It smells like there is something stale, pretty much. Those are the things that came to my mind. These words are what came to my mind. I put this is horrible for me. It might be one of the worst fragrances I have smelled in a while. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the worst one that I've smelled of 2023 because the year just started, but it's just... Have you noticed that I haven't even sprayed it once since I started talking about this fragrance? I'm going to have to spray it on the box just to make sure that this magically didn't like change up on me because I didn't even wear it, you guys. I'm 100% honest with you guys. There was no way that I was going to wear this. I sprayed it on my hand, and the whole time that I was in the car with my husband, I would tell him to smell it, and he was just so put off by this fragrance. He was like, what is that? Like, what? And I said, it's called On a Date. And he's like, don't wear it on a date with me. I cannot. I'm so sorry, but I can't. So what does this make me think of? When I smell this fragrance, I think of dusty books. I think of a very dark, dusty library in that room with the old books and the dusty just scenery and everything. There's also this rose, and the rose is like a year old. It's all crunchy and dried up and shriveled up, and the rose is giving like this tiny bit of this feminine scent. It's like kind of like a whisper of a feminine scent, but then you have like that dustiness and just nasty smell around. Like that's kind of how it smelled on me. It was repugnant. Like I just couldn't. I cannot. So if I had to say who is going on a date with this fragrance, I'm definitely going to say that it is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She's trying to impress the Beast. That's the fragrance that she went for, is this one. It's definitely a mix of just this old dusty castle with some dead roses lying around and just very dry and just dusty. That's kind of what I get from this. Remember that this has blackcurrant. Blackcurrant very rarely works for me. This has pink pepper. That Davana is starting to become one of my very disliked notes because I could kind of pick it up in fragrances and it's just a note that I don't enjoy. It kind of smells like herbal or like medicinal or something. The geranium, patchouli, musk, vetiver, moss are also notes that I do not enjoy. So I wrote that. I did go to Fragrantica and I did check the section where people describe what scent this reminds them of, and they had Fenty's Perfume on there. And let me just say this. Fenty Perfume. I did go to Sephora not too long ago. They had it on display. I sprayed it on my skin. And although it is not a fragrance that I want to get, it's not a fragrance that I enjoyed. So even though I didn't enjoy the Fenty Perfume, the blueberry that was in that perfume really had something pretty about it. It's not a fragrance that I like, and there's notes in there that I don't enjoy. So kind of, you know, the balance of the blueberry kind of, it wasn't worth it to me because I didn't enjoy the rest of the fragrance. But if I had to choose between On a Date or the Fenty one, give me the Fenty one all day long. I can definitely handle the Fenty one so much more than I can handle on a date. Like, this is just, it's super, super, super mature to me. And for me to say that something is mature, it takes a lot, because I don't like to say that. I like to just think that, and I still do think that everyone can wear whatever they want, but there are certain scents that are more appealing to a certain age group. And I feel like this is definitely one that is super mature. If you're looking for something that's youthful and pretty and you want to be a little sexy on your date, I just wouldn't recommend this. This is not the one. Now, if you are into niche fragrances, if you love complex fragrances, if you love very strong notes, very beast mode fragrances, fragrances that are just, you arrive and everyone's going to smell you, this is definitely that type of fragrance. It's just not. It's not pretty to me. It's not sexy. It's not appealing. It's just screechy. It's scratchy and dry and stale to my nose. I do like to give kind of like comparisons to a different fragrance so that I can let you guys know, okay, if you like this fragrance, you're probably going to enjoy this one. And I will say that when I smelled this, the first thing that I thought of was Giorgio Armani C. Not a dupe. They don't smell the same, but the black currant is definitely giving me Giorgio Armani C vibes. But again, I would definitely take Giorgio Armani C over on a date. I cannot wait to watch reviews to see what others think of this fragrance, because to me, it was just a huge miss. This was a fail. If I had to rate this from a 1 to 10, this would literally be like a 3. Yeah. Like a 3, because I have definitely smelled worse, but this is just not for me. This is just not it. Like, I do not enjoy this. And now that I have given my thoughts on replicas on a date, I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinion on it. Let me know how you feel about it. If you already smelled it, or if you're excited for it, if you bought it for yourself. Comment down below, give your experience with this fragrance, because even though it did not work for me, I always love when you guys put your reviews on the comments section, because fragrance is something that even though I don't like it, I'm pretty sure so many people are going to enjoy it and love it. So don't hesitate to put your thoughts in the comments section so that we can all share our opinions about it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.